know that I'm different, self-motivated, self-disciplined, yeah. I learned from my experience. I just want someone.
This episode is brought to you by Commander Technology LLC, robotic mowing, consultation and installation. Download our app, Commander Services, to get started today.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What's going on,
I'm
everybody?
excited about it here.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode from Boys to Men. I'm your host, Terrence the King. And today I got Tech Wiz in the room with me.
Tech Wiz, I like that.
Hey,
Sounds good.
Hey, like, honestly, like, he's a CEO. Ain't CEO, right?
I mean,
Basically,
we're such a small company that when you
No,
say
you-
CEO, I mean, it's a cool
Hey.
title, man, but I'm not like Steve Jobs at this moment or anything
you
like
are.
that.
Yes, you are. Because
In my imagination, maybe, but not.
Hey, where did Steve Jobs start?
He started in a garage in Silicon Valley, which I almost immigrated to, which I want to tell the story about on this show.
Of course, we don't get to that.
All right.
But think about it. You are the CEO
Yeah.
of, was it Commander?
Commander, yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Man, this guy got a lot of innovative stuff that's coming out, and that really may change the landscape of this world. And I'm just honored to have him on this show, man. Honestly, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself
Okay.
and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I got these flowers here because there's this girl, Mackenzie Cooper, who got me back in school. She's kind of responsible for that. I guess it's kind of me, but at the same time, man, a girl has a lot of influence over you. So these are your flowers. I didn't want to keep them in my truck, so brought them to the interview, and I'm gonna move them out of the way.
Happy birthday, Mackenzie.
Happy birthday, Mackenzie. She's really smart, getting her master's degree, like straight A student. I mean, I'm stupid, dude. Sometimes I can barely pass my classes, but I have to stick with it though. It's all mental.
To be honest, I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Cause I have been in that
Yeah.
a little bit too much.
Yeah. All right. So, what you want to talk about?
All right, you didn't tell me your name. You got to tell me where you're from.
I got to introduce me. I'm David Edwards. I have started a technology company, and talking about almost immigrating to Silicon Valley. All right, so here in the Southeast, I mean, technology starting to catch on around here, but it's like it was a big scene out west, like Silicon Valley, where Facebook and Google and all those companies were.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who have tech ideas immigrate out there, and I've been like pushing on these technology ideas for a couple of years now. And people I'm from a small town in Mississippi, and people just think I'm crazy, dude, just because
Yeah, your ideas, what you think is different.
I'm thinking into the future, and I'm thinking about software and robotics and stuff like that. And we're getting into landscaping robotics. We're getting into developing smartphone apps and stuff like that. And I have a lot of friends back home in Mississippi, and I'll probably go back at some point. But this is a great school, man. I'm just glad to be at UWF. It's a great school for technology. You find a lot of people here in computer science that are computer science, computer engineering, and stuff like that. But what we want to do is create a system of robotic mowing. We're going to start out here in Pensacola, and we're going to just expand out at Pensacola, Jackson, Mississippi, and the Alabama coast. So we're pushing on an idea that's kind of new, but it's going to be a game changer. Yeah. So
I'm just waiting for you to tell me where I need to put my money at for the stocks.
you need to put. I don't know that yet.
We ain't gonna tell these people yet, cause look,
Yeah.
I need inside information before they even get this stuff started.
It's going to be later down the road, so we'll figure it out. When I almost moved to Silicon Valley, it's just like I had this idea buzzing in my head. I was cutting yards, and I'm like, I had this idea for software and that would change the game. And I literally spent my last dollar and got an airplane ticket with Delta Airlines, and it was one way because that's all I could afford. And so, getting into technology, I also read a lot of sales and business books and stuff like that. And I had this suitcase full of these knockoff iPhone chargers. So I brought with me this suitcase full of knockoff iPhone chargers, and I was going to go around the streets in Silicon Valley and sell these iPhone chargers. And if I sold this sounds crazy, man, but if I calculated, it was if I sold 30 a day, I could afford a hotel room a night. And so I get over there, and the startup meeting with all the other people starting up companies and trying to find investors was like 5 days out. And I'm like literally standing around like a bunch of homeless people, didn't have a place to sleep. And I called my mom, it was Mother's Day, and my mom flew me back to Jackson, Mississippi. And I'm like, oh, that was a failure. And I'm like, a couple years later, here I am at UWF. I've been a construction contractor for a couple years and a landscape contractor, and those ideas still burn in my head. But I figured the best approach to push on my ideas is go to university. Go to UWF. I'm a vet, so they're paying for all my school. So I figured that was probably the best option. I can network with other people here. We got some ideas out there now. We're installing our first robotic mower in a couple weeks. We're going to really document it, but it's going to change the game. We're not trying to take people's jobs away. We're trying to make it easier, where it's less, back-breaking work, and just makes things easier for people.
Facts. So, with the self-cutting mower, is it like, how would they know not to cut somebody else's yard? Question. That's the only thing I was wondering too. I was looking at the stuff, I was like, all right, so is there like...
That's a good question.
Is there like an electric thing that's like, oh, this is your boundaries, and like, this is where you stay, like...
Yeah, so there's what our company does is we install the boundary wire. It's like a Roomba, man. It's just like a Roomba, and it cuts your yard in a random pattern.
So the boundary wire, okay.
Yeah, so we install the boundary wire around the yard, and it keeps it from... Like, it stays inside that boundary, but, I mean, if you're the neighbor and it comes over and cuts your grass, that's not really a bad thing, but...
Like, free cutting the grass. But no, let's talk about this back to the story, though.
Yeah.
So he was in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I always wanted to go there, and, like, I'm not a hot shot at all, because I'm just getting started with it, but it's like, dude, I've read about, Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs and all those guys starting from nothing, Zuckerberg started in his dorms and Steve Jobs started in his garage, and they just had ideas that were out there that people would say, hey, you're crazy, don't follow crazy. And so I have a traditional business in construction that kind of pays the bills, but and I make, but my vision of, like, and a lot of people lecture me on, is they don't know if I can make any money doing this or whatever, but I'm looking more on the change.
I'm gonna tell you right now, fuck them.
Yeah.
Because look, people always, this is how I look at things, especially when they say you're crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because crazy people change the world.
Yeah.
You're not the ordinary people. So when they telling you your ideas, I don't know what that's them throwing their beliefs on you.
Yeah.
You gotta be sold on your belief.
Yeah.
You know what your ideas can create for not just you. Your ideas can change the world and help a lot of people with back problems and everything else, not break their back even further.
Yeah, exactly.
So fuck everybody that's saying you're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yes, you're crazy, and be crazier at your ideas, and let's go get this.
Let's go get it, yeah.
Because, look, people don't see what we see.
Yeah.
That's why they call us crazy.
Yeah.
But it ain't for them to see. It's for them to experience after, we blow up and making, and once everybody start, look, I already know, cutting grass,
Yeah,
the South is different.
Dude, it sucks, man. I've been cutting grass since I was 12, man, and it's just hard work.
And
it's
the heat.
Yeah.
And people don't understand the heat of the sun.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I think the heat index is like 100. All right, people don't understand. All right, if y'all not from the South, y'all won't understand.
Yeah,
so
it's
if
hot.
it's 80 degrees outside, that's cool. But the humidity level is actually making you feel like it's like 100, or if not 190s, and you can get dehydrated real quick.
Yeah.
Just trying to cut your grass and maintain your yard.
That's true. It's just like, and man, it's just, I was going around cutting yards just like the traditional way, bought a lawnmower, and, I'd have a list of clients that I'd go service, and, in the beginning, yeah, you're making $50 an hour, but just working those 12-hour days or 8-hour days or however many in the heat, and it's just, there's no benefits, like there's no health insurance. You're doing it all, under the table, or some people are, and you're just like trying to. It's not a good way to make a living. I'm trying to organize an actual business on, around robotics. So it's I see us. I got a friend of mine who's an electrical engineer. Me and him have bounced some ideas off each other, and we want to get into like developing like robotics that can like also weed eat and like cut trees and man just automate the whole process. Even getting into construction robotics. That's kind of the game, man. That's like we want to make money with our traditional robotics lawn cutting business, and then we want to invest into robots that can basically do anything. So,
Damn.
yeah.
And that I see that happening coming up in the near future with a lot of different things. 'Cause
Yeah.
like Tesla, they're building robots.
Oh my God! They're way out there in the future. That's the thing with Tesla, and there are a lot of these new technology companies, man, like self-driving cars and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, where are we gonna go to next, man?
Now we actually get. Well, the moment we actually get some flying cars up in here like it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
I'm cool. Then I'm like, yo, sign me up with a flying car. I'm like, boom. I just don't want no iRobot thing to happen.
Yeah.
Because, no offense to Will Smith, I ain't gonna do what you did. But, yeah.
Another thing, this is gonna be far out too, man. It's just like I'm a nerd deep down, and I want to dude. All right, so Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they both got space companies, right?
Yes.
But they're using like rocket ships that use like fuel, and they shoot rockets up into space, and they're trying to get to Mars with fuel. Man, I love Nikola Tesla, and I was watching this documentary last night. And it's not just his work, but some other scientists' work. If you hit something with enough frequency, it can levitate. And so and I talked to some of my other nerds about this. There's something called electromagnetic propulsion.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know how. All right, I was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And somehow I came across like the video saying like, how Egypt. There was a theory on how Egypt was built.
Yeah.
They say you tap into the right frequency.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna levitate anything that you. You can tap into that frequency.
Yeah.
And I was like, technically that is true. It's just about learning how to tap into that frequency.
Yeah.
So they said the reason how the pyramids got built because everybody's like wondering like, man, they don't want to be able to lift it up. Because back then they were more conscious about the frequencies.
Yeah.
And they were able to build and move the large stones in place like that. I was like, what the fuck?
It's crazy, man. Like I'm open-minded about stuff. I'm not a conspiracist, but I'm open-minded about stuff because hey, that could have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wasn't there back then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows, man? But like, and Stephen Hawking's, I read his book on wormholes and black holes, and dude, I'm thinking like this is generations after us, but like electromagnetic propulsion plus wormholes, and you can go to other galaxies, and that's where I want to invest in technology with. Now this is gonna like. Y'all don't throw me in the middle home because I got all these crazy ideas coming out right now. I think it's crazy.
I'll come break you out.
And then we'll work on these ideas, man. It's just crazy because Tesla and Nikola Tesla, not the company, but like a lot of his ideas were just so far out there. It just took a while for them to catch on. But like robotics, there's like a technophobia that we're trying to get rid of. Like robots are here to make everybody's life easier. Automation, improve the standard of living. So that is really the goal behind robotics and with software. So being in computer engineering, you're both in software and robotics. So we want to learn coding enough, and I'm trying to recruit people to help me work on this idea that is going to be, it's a smartphone app. It's going to kind of regulate all of home services, even the services that are robots, and even the services that you got to come get somebody to do. Because I'm in the fence and deck business too, and just regulating, automating services. That's what we're trying to do with the software. So we're still in very elementary stages right now. I'm still like getting licenses and getting everything planned out and put on paper and stuff like that, we still got a ways to go, but that's my end game while I'm here at UWF. Yeah. Yeah.
So where do you see your tech company going in the next 5 years?
Okay, next 5 years.
Well, matter of fact, let's go. All right, we're gonna do this a year from now,
Mm-hmm.
5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Perfect. All right, so a year from now, I want to get our smartphone app. We have an app called Commander Services, and I've made a couple of smartphone apps, but I want to have one that where customers. So my thing is, this now we're getting back into reality. I'm in the construction business, and that's how I make most of my money right now in construction. So if a customer needs a fence or a deck, and we're going to expand into other areas of construction, we're going to partner with other contractors. They can download the app and kind of like it's going to have both the materials and stuff like that. You can download the app, and our robotic business is going to be in the app too. So say you're a homeowner, you live around here down the road on one of these streets in the suburbs or whatever, and you got a house and you want to get a new deck or a fence. Kind of like going to a store, because the way that the new business people see like transacting business, they look at people shopping more off their phone versus going to the store. That's why Bezos really hammered down on Walmart with his technology. Amazon is a technology company. So what we want to do is we want to have a store. People can pick out the type of lumber they want, or the type of tile they want, or type of paint. And they'll order their materials, the contractor will come over. The difference between us and a lot of people who've come through with this, like a lot of people have worked on this idea, but they don't come from a construction background like I do. Like I've been in construction for a while, like as a general contractor, and we're going to really hammer down on the quality of the process. We're going to control the process and make sure the customer gets excellent service, as in like other ones would just send random people over like Home Advisor and Angie's List.
Yeah.
Those are just kind of like advertisement companies. They rip off both the contractor and the homeowner. We're more of a organized company that's creating a store in the on your phone, and that's what I want to work on year one. From year 5, I want us to start investing in the robotics, and year 10, I want us to create electromagnetic propulsion and then go to the moon with it.
Yeah. Hey, on top of that too, electromagnetic propulsion may be what is needed to make the car fly.
That is, yeah.
Hey, so technically,
Yeah.
hey, if you decide to make a flying car,
Uh-huh.
I'll be the test subject on flying it.
All right, let's do it.
I just want to fly. And the car is like, But I just gotta make sure I can control myself coming down.
Yeah, this electromagnetic propulsion is it's just
Tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky. And I think Elon Musk, he's got the right idea of going to Mars, but it's just gonna be so expensive in a rocket ship, man. It's like with the electromagnetic propulsion, you don't need all that rocket fuel. You could just levitate an object, and they follow the magnetic fields of the Earth, so it's like it runs off like magnets and electricity. So that's what I think the future of space travel is. And like I'm not like I said, I'm not smart enough to know the mathematical calculations to make it happen. I just know it could happen. I got to find what I want to do is I want to make those two, the first year 1 and year 2, or year 1 and year 5 ideas happen. If those line up, then we're going to throw all our money into electromagnetic propulsion.
Hey, because actually, then we gotta have a real hoverboard. Back in the future could be possible, finally.
Yeah, no, that's what. That's a great movie. The second one when they got the hoverboard is like year 2015. That was the year 2015 though, man.
No, actually, I think it was 2015, 2020.
Yeah, they were a little wrong on that.
Exactly. I was like,
man.
2015 came out. They came out with the shoes, the Air Mags, and I was like, okay. What else? They don't even lace up by themselves. This is not the same Air Mags I've seen on the movie.
Yeah.
No, so what do you think? All right, technology-wise, because you're a technology guy.
Definitely.
How do you see technology playing a part in lives in the next couple of years? Like basically piggybacking off what you already said.
Yeah.
So what do you see like technology really playing a big part in the next few years?
So as far as what's coming next, I think robotics are going to be. If you really follow the trends of technology, if you look back, 100 years, 50 years, 25 years, a decade ago, it really goes in phases of what got really big, and then it kind of just plateaued, and people would migrate to the next one. 20 years ago, websites were huge. When I talk about immigrating to Silicon Valley, those stories kind of ended about 20 years ago, when everybody needed to immigrate to Silicon Valley 20 years ago because if they had a website idea, and they had the .com boom and all that. And then it was these things, the iPhone got big, everybody wanted to create an app, which I still think there's a lot of value in that. But for the most part, people are getting tired of too many apps on their phone. You have to have a really good idea to execute it on. Yeah. So that we're still want to have our smartphone app, but robotics, I think, is what's coming next, just because of I was watching something on Westinghouse, and they had George Westinghouse and his company, Westinghouse Electric. They had this robot, and I'm just going to get up, this is about, in the 1930s, all the robot could do is, walk around like this. It had no movement, but just the amount of, horizontal and vertical and X, Y, and Z axis movements that, there's this company that is crushing it right now called Boston Dynamics in the robotics industry, and they're basically, they got robots that can do about anything, very intelligent. They have one that's like a dog that it's got this robotic arm on it that'll clean your room up for you. It'll open doors for you, and it can be programmed to do just about anything. And they got they're getting more advanced. So also read a book on being in the construction game. I love building stuff, and I read this book about SAM, Semi-Automated Mason. It's basically a robot that lays bricks, and it lays, you just load it up with bricks, and it builds brick walls. And one of the biggest construction companies, they're actually from Mississippi, Gates Construction. They invested into SAM, and there's a couple other companies that have, but it's just 3D printed homes. I think have you seen anything about those yet?
I've seen them already.
Yeah.
I used to do stucco, so I was kind of already into some of the stuff. I seen they doing a lot of them now, where they just already get the blueprint.
Yeah.
And they just let the thing just pour the mud and build it how it's supposed to be.
I think that's how it is. I think we're gonna be able to build more affordable housing for people with that system if we can really master it. Then, and they build some nice homes. They're really beautiful homes that are being built with those. I definitely think that's the future. It's kind of endless in robotics, and eventually, man, it's just gonna be where we live in a world that's autonomous for us humans, and we have kids and they have grandkids and so on and so forth. They're gonna live in a world that's already set up for them. And this is where when I get out in left field, I think the future is automation and then space travel, because we're gonna be so bored because everything is automated. We're gonna be let's go to space, and then we can all. That's what we need to get my electromagnetic propulsion going, so we can travel around the universe. Once
like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, cause that movie's coming out soon too. Actually, no, I think it came out today.
Today is Mackenzie's birthday.
And it's Mackenzie's birthday. Birthday and Buzz Lightyear.
That's right.
You can't beat both of them.
That's right.
Mackenzie,
go to Buzz Lightyear with me. Please.
Exactly. learn about some magnetic propulsion.
Yeah.
Man. Honestly, I'm excited for the future. Do you think it'll be more like Star Trek in the future, or the thing about it, all the futuristic movies that we have? Which one do you feel like is going to be more in line with what it's going to look like in our future?
So with Star Wars, I think, and this is me, I'm actually a veteran, but I'm against war. I know that's contradicting, and I'm proud that I'm a veteran. I'm got friends that are in the military, and I think there's a lot of honor in fighting. Coast Guard.
Oh, see, I was Navy.
Really? Yeah. Boats and mate.
Yes, sir. I was an engineman.
Heck yeah. Man, that's and I really and I am leaning, as I get older, I'm leaning more towards how do we, every country that is at bad terms with each other. I like following. This is getting off away from technology, but like I follow a lot of spiritual leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, and I believe that Martin Luther King was even a spiritual leader. He followed a lot of the principles of Jesus Christ. He didn't believe in violence. Neither did Gandhi, and so like with war, I don't see that. I feel like there is a social issue that needs to be solved. I think the robots and everything are cool and something I'm passionate about. And, you know, I'm not active in anything, but like, I just, with personal beliefs, like for example, I'm Christian, and I also go to a Buddhist church too, a Buddhist temple. I feel like people need to start learning more about other cultures. That's a huge thing.
That's the truth, because if you ever found out, you got more in common.
Yeah, exactly. And I put on Facebook, and a lot of my Christian friends started stoning me because I said, hey, I'm going to this Buddhist temple. They're like, you're going to go to hell. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to learn. You can, if I've learned this about humans, if I were to go point out those, you know, Vietnamese Buddhists, hey, you are going to hell, it's going to either offend them, they're going to get pissed off or whatever. If I go and learn about them, they're going to like me more, they're going to respect me more.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convert these people to Christians, but if that's on your agenda, then you should go into their temple, you should learn about them, and then you'd have a better chance of converting these people.
Connect them.
Yeah, and connecting with
That
them.
honestly, I look at it like too, because I was like, people always try to divide. The main thing that divides these people in the country, race and religion.
Yeah, that's true.
And I look at it like, bro, the reason why this country's supposed to be so great as it is, because we're supposed to be able to allow people to be different.
Yeah.
And not judge them for that. And like, I shouldn't care if you're Buddhist or you're Muslim.
Yep.
Or you're Christian.
Yeah.
Or anything, whatever religion belief you should be. You as a person is what I'm judging.
Yep.
And actually, I shouldn't even judge that. But like, how you treat, how I see you walk is how I'm going to perceive you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We don't know what is technically right, and we don't know what technically is wrong.
That's very
Because
insightful.
at the same time, like this, what's right for me may not be right for you.
Yeah.
What's right for them may not be right for others.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's right for that person.
Yeah.
So if it's right for that person, just let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very insightful. There's a couple of Navy vets that are at the Buddhist temple. There's a couple. What's funny is like the people that are like from America that go there. They're all mostly vets. Like 2 Navy guys. There's 1 Army guy. He's got like PTSD and he just it's a very calm practice. It's just like you meditate and you're just completely at peace. And like just like you said, there's a lot in common. And my spiritual mentor there, he's a Navy vet from like the Vietnam era, and he was just telling me that like some of the chief tenets that I've learned in Christianity, doing to others as you had others doing to you, is the same principles that are being taught. So
Yep. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Other than the name being different,
Yeah, that's
the
it.
message is the same.
Yeah.
It's all about love, spread love, not
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And once we get the concept of that,
Yeah.
bro, this whole world will be much better.
Yeah, I think there's a huge, and that's why I like when I get so enthusiastic about technology, but like there's a social problem that needs to be advanced with all countries. There's internal social problems, and then there's what's like, hey, let's go to war with these people. What scares me, dude, is they got, like, I'm at the age where I'm starting to think about being a dad, and like I don't want my kids living in a world where, hey, if this world leader gets pissed off, he's got a nuclear bomb, he can go blow up these other countries. I don't want that. Like, and I feel like speaking with technology, like there's some really smart people who invented that, but like you could take that same technology and put that into something like I don't know how nuclear electromagnetic propulsion would work, but you could use that for space travel, do like nuclear. But instead, you're going to
Use it as a weapon.
We use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, good or bad, whenever we dropped those bombs over Japan, 50,000 people immediately were killed. Women, children, just innocent people. Do you think that they grew up with hatred and intent to harm America, but we go over there and drop a bomb on them, and it's just,
And look,
There's other solutions.
exactly, and then at the end of the day, all of the radioactive stuff that happened right there, people can live in there still to this day, I believe. Like the radioactive part. And it's crazy because, like, man, everybody wants to be in control.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't need if you need a nuclear weapon to have world control, then that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Gandhi and Martin Luther King and which they followed a lot of teachings of Jesus, but like with they gained control. Like if you look at Mahatma Gandhi's movement, it was nonviolent. He let people attack them first and let the world see that, and then the world. The modern world is not going to put up with people getting attacked. Like the people in India who were getting persecuted by the British government, when the world saw the aggression towards those people, they came in and protected them basically. But, you know, Gandhi was a leader who didn't need weapons. He didn't yield any weapons. He actually gave up all his worldly possessions and walked around in a robe. And he's like, he had all this power. He had 200 million followers.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that there's a new brand of leadership that needs to come to the world that I firmly believe in. But, you know, that's why I want, creating this technology company, I want it to be worldwide. And, like, I want us to start in Florida, but how do we help people in other countries? We need to get on, like, a different level. We want to increase the standard of living. But also, when we increase the standard of living, we want to increase, like, the ability for other people to learn education. Being in coding, I got friends all over the world that are in coding, and they're in just, you know, less developed countries, but they're very intelligent people. That's why I'm saying the access to the internet has changed things to where anybody can learn computer science or anything because of the web. You can learn about anything. It's basically Google is a giant library, and if you're using the internet correctly, you can use it to educate yourself. So,
That is true.
yeah.
That's with anything in life.
Yeah.
Man, so for closing remarks, what is something that you want to leave with these people partially with, like, with everything we talked about today? What's the main thing you want to leave with these people?
So, I think we talked about quite a few things. Just the fact that I'm a little different here in the Southeast, as in, like, I've had the traditional businesses and construction and landscaping, but my goal is in technology. I feel like particular area. One of the reasons why I like the Silicon Valley culture is because it embraces technology. Like it is a culture to where it's expected that you're here to create change, and around here it's like the technology gets. This is how it works. Technology in the last 20 years gets invented. So in the last 50 years, gets invented in Silicon Valley, and then it spreads throughout the world in the proportion that that part of the world is ready to pick up on it. That's why, like with these iPhones or with Tesla vehicles, you know, Elon Musk is another example of somebody who immigrated to Silicon Valley with Apple, Facebook, all that stuff. You'll see it catching on at certain parts of the world. I know, I love Mississippi. You know, for the most part, it's great people. I mean, and it's you know, it's got its flaws, but it's where I'm from. But around here, things catch on a little bit quicker. Florida does, but I feel like being native to here, I want to see that people start to embrace technology a little easier instead of criticizing it. Like, if you market new technology, people call you crazy, and even the technology that comes from areas like Silicon Valley, but I want us to be an area to where, because technology is creating so many jobs, and is so good for the economy, that the biggest companies on the planet that produce the most income are all technology companies. And so people in the Southeast need to embrace the fact that, you know, I had this thing called Nerd Up. People need to nerd up and really see that technology is good, and there's a lot of potential to really boost. Like the biggest economies are all tech-based economies these days. We live in the information age. Back 100, 150 years ago, it was all factories. So it went from factories to tech companies, and now I just think that people should start to embrace that mentality, and that's really what I want to leave on. I mean, I know we talked about electromagnetic propulsion, and that's kind of out in left field, but I think that's definitely a possibility.
I feel like it's coming.
That's what I want to.
I feel like it's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then also, just the world, man. I know this has nothing to do with technology, but just give love to people, man. It's just like, I don't know the answers to life, like what's the right religion. Like, there's so many denominations in Christianity. I go to a Baptist church and a Buddhist temple. I mean, those contradict each other, but I'm here to learn. Always be seeking more knowledge.
Yes.
And like, for me, I feel like I want us to move into a world where war doesn't exist anymore. And I know immediately when you say that, people are saying that's not going to happen, but like, that's the only way. So there's two outcomes to humanity. We either blow each other all up, or we live harmoniously and we develop electromagnetic propulsion and we can travel around the universe. I want to go with that model.
Let's get that. I like the sound of that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday to Mackenzie.
Happy birthday, Mackenzie.
One more time. Watch away from this episode, man. Not to be scared of technology.
Not to be scared.
Don't use Terminator and all these other things, iRobot as the fear of what. That show you the worst of what can happen.
Yeah.
Not the best of the potential what we have for the future.
Yeah.
And I believe you're on the right path to lead
Man,
us to the future.
this is a good interview. Yeah, it's a good interview. Yeah.
Man, but like I always say before I leave, but I want to say thank you again for coming on this episode.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Man, I want to tell y'all, dream big dreams, because small dreams have a little magic.
That's a good way to end it.
Sir.
Yeah. Dream big dreams.
Because small dreams have a little magic. And remember, how big would you dream if you know you couldn't fail? And last but not least, remember, you do your best and let God take care of the rest. We love y'all. Thank you for again coming on. Thank y'all for watching and listening. Peace, love, happiness. We out.
I know that I'm different, self-motivated, self-disciplined, yeah. I learned from my experience. I just want someone to take me serious. Real questions that I ask. How long will this solo trip last? I'm content with being alone in the past, but it's changing and it's something I can't grasp. Turn off my phone, I'm in my zone, so now I'm acting different. I'm to myself, I'm in my head, mapping out this life I'm living. Shadow work on myself, I done already seen hell. Can't fit in, so I rebel, but I don't miss a beat. I don't miss a beat.